As we gear up for the NE10 softball championship starting this weekend, we visit with Kaitlyn Cahill, sophomore outfielder for the co-champs of the NE10 this regular season from Assumption. Kaitlyn, first off, congratulations on the success. What's it like getting prepped and primed to start conference championship season?
Honestly, we kind of worked super hard this year as a team, and I think we kind of thought deep down we knew that it was we were going to be able to get here, but we knew we had to prove some people wrong. But I think we're ready to get going.
Tell me about where your minds were at, because you guys played in the championship game last year. You made it there as the sixth seed. Um, what was that experience like, and how does that set the table for, all right, now this is the expectation?
I would say it kind of lit a fire under us because obviously no one likes losing, but in order to get where we got last year and see how far we've come from the beginning of the season, it was like, wow, like we actually have something special here. And then coming into this season with almost the exact same team as we had last year, it was like we know we're gonna be able to do this.
You guys have to go on the road if you're gonna get it done this year. You are
Mhm.
the co-champions, but you are the two seeds. So what's it like to travel down to Long Island and try to get this done away from home?
I think we all have such a big support with our families, and our families go to everything. And when you're in the outfield and you can just hear everyone behind the fence yelling for you, I think traveling doesn't really put any pressure on us because we do have our entire support system, just everyone's families, everyone's come. So I don't think
Especially,
it was
I
us.
didn't even think of that, especially at your ballpark, because everybody sits in the outfield at
Yeah.
Assumption.
Yeah.
You probably hear everything that gets said.
Yeah. It's good and bad, I guess.
Tell me about the way that this team is successful, because you lead the conference in stolen bases. You had almost 100 in the regular season. Franklin Pierce had 91, and the next best team had 62.
Mhm.
You guys took off and ran a ton. You had a bunch of triples in an inside the park home run a couple of weeks ago. What is it about this team on the base paths that applies pressure and that really helps win you guys games?
I think it's aggressiveness. And then I think it all comes down to our coach always looks at us and she goes, everyone on this team, if we're going to be winning games, it's going to take all of us. And she says that every single person has a job. And as long as you do the best at your job, then we'll be winning games. And I think that shows that we've been able to do that and everyone has been doing their part. And I think that's why we've been so successful this season.
You came right into college and you had a pretty big job right away. You were all conference as a freshman, you were all defensive team as a freshman. Um, what was that transition like for you to kind of come in and grab an opportunity and run with it?
Um, I think it was just opportunity after opportunity was just handed to me, and I think I'd like to just try to make the best out of anything that's given. And I think coming in last year, knowing what this team had been through in the past, and then seeing them all have such high spirits, and even like especially the upperclassmen, they were so welcoming and everything. I think that just helped everyone transition and have a better season. So.
This year was the first regular season championship for Assumption since 2011. You guys last won the tournament in 2012. How does that success feel? And what does it mean to you to be able to create a continued legacy for what people have done before you?
It means a lot. I like being able to try to work off what other people have built. And I think that's a big part of Assumption softball. I think we have a big culture program, and I think keep building on the past is what we usually focus on. So I think it means a lot to all of us.
What clicked for this year? You guys, I think it was your second or third game. You beat Wilmington when they were the 11th ranked team in the country. Did that
Mhm.
kind of establish a feeling of, all right, we're good enough to go do everything we want to try to do?
I think it definitely did. Yeah, I think it put a fire under us and showed us that we're capable to compete with anyone and give us anyone, and we'll do what we can do. So.
How did your confidence grow, or how was your confidence impacted? You guys had that run over the middle of the season. You won 10 of 11, and you vaulted up to the top of the standings in the conference. Uh, how much do you look at the big picture while you're in the middle of things, or is it easier to just stay in the moment and say, all right, like one game at a time, we're going well, but tomorrow?
I think it's definitely easier to stay in the moment, and I think it's easier to we always look at one step at a time, and we always look, all right, what's next day, like the next day. And as long as you don't look too far into the future, then you can be able to appreciate the small wins that you get. So
You're from Grafton, Massachusetts, so it's not all that far for you to head to Assumption. What brought you to Worcester to play college softball?
I knew I wanted to stay close to home, and I'm glad I did. Because when I was younger, softball was brought to me just through family and everything like that. And growing up, I played competitive softball with my cousin. She was always on my team. And my mom and aunt went to every single one of our like tournaments. So I think staying close to home was something I knew I wanted to do. And I love doing that because every game I go to, I can always see someone out there. Everyone shows up and supports.
Your dream job is listed on your website at Assumption as owning a food truck, which I think is the most amazing thing I've read on a bio in the conference this year. So tell me where that comes from.
Um, I'm honestly not really sure. I like cooking and something if you don't have to work anything or do anything that involves a lot of like sitting in an office, it just seems like it'd be fun, I guess.
All right, can we workshop this? Because I feel like food trucks always have like great names and themes. Have you thought through what a Kaitlyn Cahill food truck would be called?
Personally, I've not, but some people on my team have been thinking about it and putting it into their plans too. So,
What do they have?
um, I didn't ask them yet, but they also have their own little businesses that they want to start too. So,
Are we talking like grilled cheese, tacos? What direction are we going?
cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers? That's fair.
Mhm.
What do you like to cook?
Uh, chicken, I think is my favorite.
Which ways?
Grilled chicken.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Uh, who's the best cook on the team?
Oof, I have no idea. I had Sam's chicken Alfredo was probably the best thing I've had so far.
A couple of softball questions, and then I'll let you go as we look toward the championship. But who'd you look up to growing up playing softball? Who was your idol?
I can't say I watched that much. I watched Red Sox, and I always liked watching Mookie Betts.
How did you end up playing an outfield spot?
All my life I grew up catching, and then my coach looked at me and he said, "When you get older, if you stay this size," because I was always like a super small kid, he said, "Some college coaches aren't gonna like that." And I said, "Okay." And he goes, "So we want to get you a better we want to get you working everywhere else." So I played a little infield too. And then I kind of just went to outfield, and I like it the best, I think.
Do you still have catcher's gear?
Yep, and I like it to every practice.
Have you ever lobbied to get behind the plate at any point in time?
Uh, I'm not usually one to put my hand up, but if I get picked, then sure, I'll do it.
What do you like about being able to play in the outfield?
I like that you don't have to think at all. It's always just in the moment.
It's just reactionary.
Yep. Never have to think about anything. In the infield, there's always plays going on, but not on the outfield. I
Last diving catch you made.
think it may have been St. A's.
What's it feel like when you see the ball and you're like, I might not get there, but you lay out and you come up with it?
Um, it's kind of just like you'll just dive anyways, and if it happens, it happens. And then when you get up and catch it, I feel like it's always when I'm diving in too. So I get up, and every single time it's our second baseman, Lauren, and she's just screaming in my face, and I'm like, all right, yeah, let's get this next one.
That's better than catching. You don't have to crouch so much. So it's, yeah,
I
all the
agree.
glory. It's the big
Mhm.
place.
Yep.
Kaitlyn, congratulations on the success so far, and best of luck as you guys head down to Long Island this weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.